There's a simple way to earn a woman's respect without being an asshole. I'll reveal this hack to you shortly, and trust me, it's a game changer for introverts. But first, let's break down what we're talking about. So if you're an analytical guy, you've probably felt the frustration of hearing women say, "I just want a nice guy," only to see them overlook the very qualities they claim to want. Being thoughtful, empathetic, and introverted doesn't have to be a curse. In fact, it can be your secret weapon to avoid rejection and the dreaded friend zone. Is it possible to still attract women without needing to be an asshole? That's the question, right? So, can you attract women while staying true to your morals? What if you could signal you're not just another nice guy in just 10 seconds? Women's decision making actually follows a certain logic. If you're an analytical guy, try to follow along here. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. We heard that a lot. And men make logical decisions and women make irrational, emotional decisions, right? It's not that simple, to be honest. Imagine you're a prince and you grow up in a castle and everyone bows to you and calls you sir. And you go on a holiday to a distant kingdom and walk into a clothing shop. Your whole life, everyone praised everything you've ever tried on. Just praise all the time. But this shop assistant, who doesn't know you're a prince, looks at the shirt you're trying on and says, "Sir, you look like a monkey wearing rags. The red makes your rosy cheeks stand out and the trim makes your belly look like fat pig." Something like that. You're in shock. You feel a rush of emotions, right? You're confused, you feel offense, you feel adrenaline. But then you feel connection. You feel seen. For the first time, a person is honest with you. First time in your life. Because you were a prince, everybody was lying to you the whole time. Suddenly you can trust what they say and you respect them for having the spine to say it. Now this might sound a bit like a stretch to you, but most beautiful women are treated like complete princesses their entire life. When someone comes along who just treats you as a person, sees the real you, talk straight with you without any hidden agenda, it's actually relaxing. She's not attracted to assholes per se. She's just faced with two poor choices. A guy who she feels doesn't understand her, who makes her feel weird and pressured, or a guy who is honest, direct, and sees her as this flawed human she really is. Even if he's a jerk, she feels understood by him. Now, I'm going to explain how to use this tactic to attract more women into your life. We saw in the last section why women might like assholes. Not because they're rude, just because they make her feel relaxed. She can be herself around him, her real self. So the question is, how can you tap into that energy? Fundamentally, the nice guy is terrified of social pressure. He can't hold eye contact, he looks around a lot, he doesn't want her to experience even like a millisecond of discomfort. So how does that manifest? Nodding, smiling, releasing a lot of tension, doing a lot of favors to her, apologizing even if he didn't do anything wrong, and laughing at his own jokes. He's not relaxed ever. And it shows in his face, in his body language, and in the things he talks about. She thinks, if he can't handle even half a second of silence with me, how is he ever gonna handle the pressure building up to a kiss or taking me home or undressing in the bedroom? So we have our North Star now. Our goal is not to be assholes. It is to learn how to sit in social pressure. I'm about to reveal my introvert hack, so to say, for doing exactly that. What are introverts famous for? Silence. Stillness. What creates social pressure? Silence. Awkward silence.
Don't you hate that?
Hate what?
Uncomfortable silences. Why do we feel it's necessary to yak about bullshit in order to be comfortable?
I don't know. That's a good question.
That's when you know you found somebody really special. And you can just shut the fuck up for a minute, comfortably share silence.
Gentlemen, what I'm proposing to you is so simple it's going to sound stupid. But what if the best thing you could say to attract a woman was nothing. Just say nothing.
When you say nothing that way, it is not nothing.
Just look in her eye, smile, and say nothing. What happens when you do this? You show her, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of silence. I understand that you can handle this pressure. I know you want to feel positive, fun tension. And I'm telling you all of that with just one look. So the killer introvert technique is learning how to use your tendency to be silent, but to combine it with eye contact, a bit of a smile. She says something, you look her in the eyes, you say nothing. You hold it, you wait till she giggles. And now, of course, if you do it wrong, you'll look like a serial killer. But if you do it right, she will begin to see you in a totally different light. Let's look at the technicality of it, right? What are the best times to pause? How much eye contact is too much? I think a good rule for you would be, if you're starting out, it's to hold eye contact maybe half a second longer than you're comfortable with. You want to stretch that muscle, so to say. Go out of your comfort zone. This shows that you're not afraid to sit in the pressure, but also that you're not staring like a creep. So it's a good range. There is this weird thing many students do in my workshop. They walk next to a girl, and because they're really in a state of desperation but mixed with excitement, they're staring at the girl as they're walking, and it looks super strange from the back. No one does that. I mean, you don't walk down the street with your friend and the whole time you're doing this, right? So yeah, hold eye contact, but only at the times where it makes sense. How about silence? How long should you pause? I think a good rule for beginners is try to pause within your sentence. Like, start an idea, look at her, hold the eye contact, but then leave some dramatic pauses. Like I'm doing right now. You see how that kind of draws you in? Now that's level 1. Level 2, which is harder, is to pause after you finish talking and resist the temptation to follow up with your shit that you just shared with more bullshit, you know? Like, example, so yeah, I work in banking, but like not like one of these Wall Street guys, more like, you know, I guess, you know, in a bank, the cashier, like, I mean, in the back, I mean, anyway, I work in a bank. I work in a bank. Level 3 is God mode. If you can pause after she finishes talking, that's when she sees you like, not like an asshole, but you have that familiar bad boy energy that she's actually seeking. Because how does it make her feel when you pause? In that moment, she has a whole range of emotions that are usually disappearing right away. Is he listening to me? Am I talking too much? Why is he looking at me like that? Why am I suddenly nervous? Am I good enough? Should I tell him more? Did I say the wrong thing? Wow, he's confident. All of that goes through her head just by you pausing for 2 seconds. Most guys never even leave a second of silence after the woman finishes talking. They always have something to jump in with, some comment, laughing, interrupting her. So I know it sounds crazy, but by just doing nothing, you instantly signal so much more experience and confidence. Let me know in the comments, have you ever tried this? Just shutting up, letting her talk, even if it makes you feel awkward. As we said, we want to stretch that muscle, and letting her get nervous. Now, knowing this logically is one thing, but what when you're face to face with the girl and you start stuttering, sweating, shaking, your heart is pumping? Using the eye contact trick is all well and good, but if you have an underlying fear of rejection, you will always default to playing it safe. In the next video that you can watch here, you will see me in the streets helping a guy who has never done any approaching build the courage up to his first ever cold approach. And he was terrified despite being a jacked fitness coach. So check out how he went from being totally afraid to building up the courage to do his first cold approach and coming off as charming instead of afraid.